Hey guys, and welcome back to the next video on my channel. So today's going to be a quick little tutorial video on how I shoot portraits. So this afternoon I quickly just went around the road and shot a couple of portraits of myself. It started raining, so I had to cut it quite short, but yeah, let's just jump straight into Lightroom and I'll show you guys how I edit a portrait. Sweet guys, so jump straight into Lightroom, and as you can see, this is my one-click preset edit. So I'm going to go ahead and create a virtual copy on this. I'm going to reset that one. So this is my raw photo, guys, so that's where I want it. And this is my raw. So yeah, it's quite sharp in the face. Also, the hat is quite sharp. As you can see, there's a little bit of rain in the background, which adds a little bit of an element to the photo. So yeah. So jumping straight into it, guys. So the first thing I'll touch is my tone curve. Drop 3 points in, and then I'll create a little bit of an S-curve. And I'll bring that bottom up so it's pretty faded. All the way down to camera calibration, so I adjust my colors, so put the reds all the way to the oranges, the blues all the way to the teals, and it's a bit how you going, so I'll bump them down a bit so it's not so in your face. Already it's looking not too shabby, guys. So I always adjust my white balance, even if it's by a little bit, but I'll always play around with it just to see what colors I can make. It's pretty good there. Now I adjust my overall settings, so a little bit of a less exposure. Black's down, nah, not really. Just experimenting, guys, so these are all subject to change throughout the video. Always bump 20 clarity on there, it's always between 10 or 20, and I'll minus 20 vibrance just to take a little bit of the color out. So yeah, so far so good. Sorry about this, guys, I'm just playing around with it. I'm trying to get back to the raw photo, so I'll fast forward this till I get to it. So this is where I want it to be, and this is where I'm currently at, and that's before. So straight back to it, guys. So I'm just currently thinking what colors I can adjust. So I personally think there's too much blue in there, so that's why I've taken the blue slider down a fair bit. Always bump the sharpening up. It's always around 80, so I know it's a bit extravagant, but oh well. Bring it back up, so I'm going to play with the settings a little bit more just to get it to where I want it to be. Also, another thing, guys, I don't do it in this, but could always chuck a gradient wipe in there, so that'll make your subject pop a little bit more. So I might actually do a separate video on a tutorial on that, so stay tuned for one of them. So far so good, I'm liking how it looks so far. Adjust the tone curve a little bit more. I always go back to the fade, so I never know how much fade I want until the end of the photo. There it is, I was just trying to find the grain, so I always pop 20 grain on there. I might put a little bit more on there sometimes, but usually 20 is the perfect amount. So yeah, just zoom it in, the face is still pretty sharp. Overall, it's looking pretty good so far. So that's where I want it to be. Sorry about that. And that's where it was. that's my settings. So as you can see on the screen, I shot 50mm 1.4, and I can't really see the shutter speed. So yeah, that's where I want it to be. So as you can see, it's a little bit brighter, a little bit more warmer probably. That's it before, and that's where I'm at right now. So I think in the left side there's just a little bit more of a shadow. So again, I'm going to adjust my camera settings and see how I go. Just using that as a quick reference, but also looking at the differences. So yeah, just running through my settings, contrast up, highlights, normal, shadows down a little bit, whites down a little bit, black's pretty much even. The clarity at 20, vibrance down 20. There's my tone curve, so it's always going to be around an S curve with a little flick on the end for a fade. Took the blues out, so minus 70, around about minus 70, sorry. As you can see, it's in the jumper and the hat, so I had to get rid of it. Sharpening around 80, 79, 80 I've got. Always pop grain on there, so 20. And my colours, so all the way to the right for the reds and the blues all the way to the left. So, and I always dim them down a bit because they are a bit extravagant at first. Sweet guys, and that concludes the edit. Awesome guys, thanks for watching that. It was my first time doing a tutorial, so let me know how it went in the comments, give me a big thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you guys in the next video. See you later.